Edition coming to you live from our studios here at Adesawe Kanda, Accra. Coming up tonight, police intensify investigations to identify accomplices in mamprobi polyclinic baby theft after the arrest of the principal suspect.
In police custody, whilst arrangements are underway to place the baby under hospital care for safekeeping, further investigations and medical attention.
We'll hear from the police and family of the baby who are now asking for a DNA test. Also coming up, mixed reactions as Chief Justice finds no prima facie case in petition seeking the removal of EC Chair and Special Prosecutor. Later in the bulletin, we tell you why the new Patriotic Party has begun grassroots reorganization after presidential primary. Tonight, we take a closer look at the party's bottom-up approach to restructuring. Details of these and more in the next 60 minutes. Let's now have the summaries. Nura Mohammed is here. Nura, talk to us.
Good evening. You're welcome to the news summaries on 3FM's Hot Edition. First in the summaries, the Ministry of Communication, Digital Technology and Innovations, together with the Ministry for Gender, Children and Social Protection, has held a joint ministerial meeting with the Russian ambassador to Ghana over ongoing investigations into an alleged criminal offense involving a Russian national. In a press release issued on February 18, the Communication Ministry disclosed that the Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovations, Samuel Nati George, together with the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Dr. Agnes Namumulate, held a high-level engagement with Russia's ambassador to Ghana, Sergei Bednikov. Meanwhile, the Accra Regional Police Command has provided an update on the stealing of a 4-day-old baby boy at the mamprobi Polyclinic in Ablekuma South constituency. Dansoman Divisional Commander Superintendent Juliana Obing, who addressed the media on Wednesday, February 18, 2026, said on February 17, 2026, at about 10 a.m., one Abigail Jukunu, accompanied by Henrietta Abe Blessed, reported that an unidentified woman disguised as a nurse has stolen a newborn baby from the Mamprobi Hospital's postnatal ward. Also, President John Dramani Mahama on Wednesday, February 18, 2026, visited two Ghanaians who survived the recent terrorist attack in Burkina Faso, who are currently receiving treatment at the 37 military hospital in Accra. Also, the new Patriotic Party has announced that its national executive elections will take place from September 18 to September 20, 2026 as part of a comprehensive roadmap for the party's internal electoral calendar. And finally, unsold bags of cocoa beans are stacked almost to the ceiling in Sekou Dagnogo's warehouse in Ivory Coast's Western Deku town, where his cooperative is struggling to sell to exporters following a fall in global cocoa prices. That will be all for the summaries. Over to you, Grace.
Thank you, Nura. My colleague Nura Mohammed with the news summaries now. Let's get into the detail of the bulletin, beginning with that baby theft story. And police have launched investigations to identify possible accomplices in the Mamprobi Polyclinic baby theft case following the arrest of the main suspect. The 4-day-old baby went missing shortly after delivery, prompting an immediate response after hospital authorities and the child's family filed a report with the police. A coordinated search operation was subsequently launched, leading to the safe recovery of the infant. Security operatives this morning arrested 33-year-old Latifa Salifu, who is suspected to have stolen the baby. Police say investigations are ongoing to determine whether she acted alone or had assistance. The Accra Regional Police Public Relations Officer Superintendent Juliana Obing addressed a news conference.
The Dansoman Divisional Police Command of the Ghana Police Service has arrested suspect Latifa Salifu in connection with the stealing of a 4-day-old baby boy from the postnatal ward of Mamprobi Hospital here in Accra. The arrest follows swift police investigations and public cooperation after the incident was reported on Tuesday, the 17th of February 2026. On the 17th of February 2026 at about 10 a.m., one Abigail Jukini, accompanied by Henrietta Abbey Blessed, reported to the police that an unidentified woman disguised as a nurse and had stolen a newborn baby from the hospital's postnatal ward. The baby's mother, Precious Ankoma, informed the police that she delivered the baby boy on the 14th of February 2026. She stated that a woman dressed in a nurse's peach-colored uniform took the baby under the pretext of administering medication and disappeared thereafter. Police immediately visited the facility, obtained statements, and immediately launched a manhunt for the suspect. This afternoon, it is refreshing to know that today at about 3:40 this morning, the police arrested suspect Latifa Salifu, who is 33 years of age and is a cloth seller here in Accra, at the premises of Kolebu Teaching Hospital, where she was found with a baby suspected to have been the missing child. Suspect claimed that she had delivered at the hospital and was discharged due to lack of beds. However, police investigations at the hospital revealed there was no records to support her claim. The suspect is currently in police custody while arrangements are underway to place the baby under hospital care for safekeeping, further investigations, and medical attention.
The police are also advising health facilities to strengthen security protocols to prevent similar incidents.
At this moment, the police would want to remind the public, particularly health facilities and families, to remain vigilant and observe the following measures. We expect that for hospitals and health facilities, we enforce strict identification protocols for staff and for visitors, ensure babies are released only after proper verification, install and monitor CCTV systems in maternity wards and other wards, including entrances. We also expect that we maintain visitors' logs and restrict access to postnatal wards. Report suspicious persons or activities immediately.
You have been speaking to Superintendent Juliana Obeng. He is the Accra Regional Police Public Relations Officer. Meanwhile, the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Agnes Namumulate, has assured the public of heightened security measures at the facility to prevent a recurrence. She also expressed concern about the negative impact of the incident on the image of the health center.
But for the purposes of those who just joined us, we've had some briefing, we've exchanged, notes on what happened. And then the most important thing is that we are going to support the polyclinic or the health facility to redeem its image, because I was speaking and somebody attested, not just what I was saying, attested to the fact that this is a very good hospital. She was born here, and she knows that the care for mothers and children here is one that is the best in the country. And so we need the media to support this health facility to redeem that image. And then we are also going to work with the Ministry of Health to ensure that the systems and structures we have in place is secured enough for patients and health workers as well. And so, as the commander has said, there's going to be police presence to prevent any community attack on health workers. We are trying to speak with them, but when tempers are high, you have one or two people who will not understand. But the good thing is that the larger community members have gone back, having seen the mother and having seen the baby.
That was Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Agnes Namumulate. Although the child's family says it is relieved following the baby's recovery, the infant's uncle is demanding a DNA test to confirm the child's identity.
No, you are thinking about the noise here.
So tell me, what are your concerns?
You want to see me, as at this moment, the baby is ours, but still I want a DNA done.
Why?
To confirm, okay, what they are giving it is not another man's child.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who are you?
Me, I am the elder brother to the husband.
So a DNA test, so you are not
yes,
really
we
sure
want
about
it. Yeah. Because we will do all those things. Now, I'm not assured of what is going on. So we need to conduct a DNA test that proves that the kid is ours. Do you understand? You can't just go and bring any kid at all and tell us, this is it, we find him, take him, go home. What if in the next 10 years we want to travel with a kid and things are not matching? So we need to consult a DNA test. That's it.
Uncle of the baby that was stolen and has been retrieved and reunited with the family at the Mamprobi Polyclinic. My colleague George Quaining throughout the day has been moving from the hospital to the family house and everywhere that is concerned when it comes to the story. George, it's been a busy day for you.
Actually, it's certainly a busy day. And Grace, if you actually engaged a resident, they would tell you that they couldn't sleep. You know, they actually saw the baby 24 hours later. The baby is gone missing. They couldn't sleep. It was sleepless time for them. So it was good news that the baby was retrieved and reunited with
the mother.
Yeah.
So, if from your interaction with the family and the hospital and then the residents around, how did the suspect get access to the baby?
Okay, so the baby was born on Saturday, Valentine's Day. And then the mother actually underwent CS, cesarean section. And so she was supposed to be discharged. That was yesterday. And that was when the lady, took the baby away. And she disguised herself as a nurse. So she was there for 3 days. So
the mother was there for 3 days. The suspect.
The suspect was there for 3 days. So she has to actually make sure the other nurses get acquainted with her before maybe she undertook whatever her intentions were. So
for the 3 days that she was there, she was acting as what?
As a nurse.
And like the other nurses couldn't make her out that she's not part of them.
So sometimes you can't really know all the, I think that was one thing that family thought was a short for. They should have actually identified all of them. So like, this is a stranger who was supposed they couldn't really do that. So on that day, she asked the mother to give the baby to her because she's going to give injection. And the more, as a,
she's
mother,
been there, she's seen her for the past 3 days, she's been there. So she
do what you're supposed
so
to
she had to build trust between her and the mother.
Yeah, then she earned the trust of the end. So she took the baby away. 30 minutes later, the woman
baby
was
wasn't coming.
Where's my son? And then she had to inquire and then realize that Charlie.
Wow. All of them couldn't make her out.
Exactly the case. And so it's actually poses that question whether security at the place is tight. But if it was not to be a CCTV footage, that would have been it. Grace.
Well, so there was commotion also at the polyclinic at a point in time. What really happened? What
so that
triggered
was the latter part where one of the residents wanted to enter the premises. The minister was even there. The radio MP was also there. So he wanted to enter, and then the security man, who's called Andrew, tried to resist him. But he had a bottle of water in his hand, and he tried to hit the security man.
He wanted to strike the officer first.
And he actually did it.
Oh.
So one of the police officers saw it, and then he reacted, and then he slapped.
Okay, slapped.
And he also slapped the
officer.
And he slapped the officer. So there was that altercation, and then there was this master. The friends had to give support to him. So it was a altercation.
Yeah.
Which was not a pleasant sight, honestly.
Yeah. And then the uncle of the kid, he says they want a DNA test. You spoke to him.
So the uncle is the elder brother of the man.
The father.
Yeah. So yeah, it's good news. They've seen their nephew, but.
So it's a baby boy.
It's a baby boy.
Baby boy, okay.
And so it's good they've seen it. But what is really concerning is the fact that after 24 hours, you don't know really what took place behind the scenes. You can't just bring anybody and say, in the next years, if they want to travel, that's what he said. So if they want to travel and then, things are not really corresponding, it will be a biggie. So let's get it sorted now, once and for all. So people have actually lauded. If you go on social media, most of the comments are in support of the man. Let's do this and get this done once and for all, because you don't know what really transpired behind the scenes, whether the suspect actually changed, because there should be some interest in that child for you to go that far
to take the baby away.
What were intentions?
So do we know anything about the suspect, where she lived, what she did in the community?
So the good news is, when she was leaving, they are loading taxis in front of the hospital.
Yeah.
So she actually hired one of the services of the taxi driver. So it was a driver who took them to where he dropped her off, which is in Sukura. So from there,
not the Kolebu hospital.
No, I told the Sukura. So I think Sukura is
close to Kolebu.
Yeah, so Sukura. So from there, they had to use the CCTV footage to ask, this, but then it was easier to identify her. So that's it. That's what really happened, yeah.
Right. So when you listen to we know the baby has been found and calm, it's supposed to return to the hospital. And when you listen to the resident, does it look like they might stay away from going to the polyclinic? Going forward, what would their demeanor be like?
The ministers are short of high security. Because when I was leaving, they were accounted about 15 police officers.
Okay.
And some of them were high-ranking personnel. So even if you have any intention to foment trouble, the presence will deter you. The place has been locked, and so now people coming in will be scrutinized entirely. So they will not allow anyone to enter. So if you have any intentions, they will foil it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
All right. George, thank you for this update. George Craney, my colleague, he's been following the baby theft story since morning, bringing us up to speed on what he's discovered or gathered so far. So let me take you through some of the cases that have happened when it comes to baby theft, baby thief stories, since this year up until probably 2019. I mean, we've been speaking about this one, a newborn 4-day-old baby reportedly taken from the postnatal ward by a woman disguised as a nurse. In December 2025, just last year, one also happened at Tamale, One Heart Hospital, Lamashegu, Northern Region. A newborn baby was also reported missing from a hospital labor ward after a woman identifying herself as a nurse. The same modus operandi took the baby. Police arrested 3 hospital staff to assist investigations. In November 2025, that is November 8 specifically, at the Agogo Presbyterian Hospital in the Ashanti region, a 1-week-old baby was allegedly stolen from the hospital when a stranger offered to help the mother but then left with a child. In July 2024, July 20, Kaswa Ewutu Senya East Municipality in the Central Region, 3 women were arrested after allegedly planning to take a baby from its mother using deception. Over several weeks, police detained the suspect. In June 15 to 16, 2023, Ayenswano district in the Eastern Region, a 6-day-old baby was also allegedly taken when the mother briefly left home. Several suspects returned and the baby later and were taken to police. On June 10, 2019, Kumasi South Hospital, the Ashanti region again, a baby was taken from a mother after delivery. Years later, the child was found alive and suspects involving 2 women were jailed. So fortunately for this lady, she has found the child 24 hours after news of the incident broke, and that is commendable for the police as well as all the stakeholders that joined in finding the baby. And these cases underscore ongoing concerns about hospital security, especially in maternity and postnatal wards. We are working the phone to bring in the Health Facilities Regulatory Agency, HIFRA. HIFRA is a statutory body established under the Health Institutions and Facilities Act 2011 Act 829. Their mandate is to regulate, inspect, license, and monitor all health facilities to ensure they meet the required standards of quality, safety, and professional care of delivery. Let's speak to Christabel Nuhoho. He is Public Relations Officer. Madam, grateful you made time to join us tonight on the program. Talk to us. Cases of missing newly born babies are now becoming one too many. Is HIFRA concerned about this development, and what are you doing to stem the tide?
Thank you very much, Grace. This issue about babies, should I say, disappearing from facilities, has become a source of worry for several years. And because of that, I think at the beginning of this year, management sat down and have decided that we would review the security tools that we have in health facilities. So it is one of the things that we have on our review. So yes, when it comes to tools, it's one of the things that we are going to review, because it's become a source of worry for the agency.
Right. From the social media videos that we saw, there were complaints that the CCTV cameras and other security apparatus in the hospital were not working. You just told us that HIFRA is looking at reviewing the security tools and others in hospitals. What specifically are you adding to heighten or to improve on security?
Okay, so having a CCTV camera at exit points in every health facility is actually part of the requirement. So it comes as a surprise that there will be a CCTV camera at the facility, but it's not working. So I think one of the things that we would have to do is increase our periodical checks, because we go and then we see the CCTV camera is all right, but we would have to maybe increase the periodical checks to ensure that maybe we could go there every 3 months instead of we going there every year, just to ensure that, because and we would have to now go there unannounced, because I think what we do now is we actually inform them that we are coming. When it happens like that, I think they want to put things in place. So one of the things, or two of the things we would want to put in place is, one, go there unannounced, and then two, increase the timing. Yes. Instead of going there every year, we may have to do it maybe every 3 months or every 4 months, quarterly.
So, Hifra, you take your mandates from Act 2011, Act 829. Specifically, it lists some minimum security standards that health facilities must follow, especially maternity and postnatal wards. Talk to us about these minimum standards, security standards.
Okay. So, for every facility, we have clear standards that they would have to meet. So, we have to. We call them tools that we actually measure the facilities by. So, for a maternity, one of the requirements, and this is not just for a maternity, okay, this is the standard for every health facility. One of the things you would have to have in place is that we say there should be a security. So there should be a security, and not just one security. And when we come, we want to, we should have a logbook for all the security personnel. And for your security personnel, we would want to have 3, so they should run shifts. We inspect their logbook to ensure that, yes, your security personnel are available and they run shifts. We also have a session where you're supposed to train them. So we look at how often you train your security. Then you're supposed to have a CCTV camera at every exit of the facility. So that is also one thing that we look at when it comes to security. And this, and among other things, depending on the kind of facility that we are visiting here.
How often, let me just bring this first. In light of the repeated baby theft cases across hospitals, is HIFRA reviewing or tightening its inspection and licensing requirements regarding security protocols? Maybe in answering this, also talk to us about the licensing status of the hospital and how you are tightening or reviewing these inspections.
Okay. So with respect to, I mentioned earlier that this is not new. So at the beginning of the year, we actually had it. We are actually reviewing our tools, as in the tools that we use in measuring the facilities. We are reviewing all the tools for every facility. And the tools that we use in measuring health maternity is one of the things that we are reviewing, because we realize that this babies disappearing from facilities has become a bit rampant these days. So we would want to review that aspect in terms of security.
Yeah.
So we already have that on our review schedules when it comes to HEFA. So it's already there. It's something we are looking at.
Okay.
Okay, it's something we are already looking at. So, yes, it's something we are already looking at. I'm sure somewhere by close of February or March,
Right.
the tools have been complete, and they will take a board approval. Once the board approves, then those will be the new tools that will be used.
The new standards that the hospitals
facilities.
must comply to.
Say again.
Right. So if the board approves the new one, that will be the new standards that the hospitals must comply with.
Yes.
Okay. So you just mentioned that you've been doing some sort of yearly checks on these hospitals, and now you want to increase it to maybe more often, or maybe once every 3 months or once every month. What sanctions apply to the facilities that are found to have serious security lapses, like in the case of this hospital?
So when we go to any facility, most often the facilities that we visit to carry out monitoring exercise are facilities that are already licensed by HEFA. So if the facility is licensed, what it means is that you have met the standard. So we come for monitoring to ensure that you are still adhering to the standards that you had based on which we gave you that license. So when we come to the facility and we realize that you are operating below standard, we do 2 things. Depending on the level of infraction, we either ensure that you put things back in place, or we would lock the place down, ensure that you actually put things in place, and then we come for re-inspection. After the re-inspection, if you have actually done what you are supposed to do, then we shall renew your license. And it's not for free.
Okay.
If we revoke your license, you would have to pay, you would be fined for it.
So in this case, is it going to be just a fine for the hospital, or what happens to the polyclinic?
It depends on the infraction. Okay.
All right. Madam, thank you for talking to us. We have been speaking to Christabel Nuhoho. He is Public Relations Officer, Health Facilities Regulatory Agency, HIFRA, and she says that they are intensifying or increasing their visits to these hospitals to ensure that they comply with the standards and other regulations that health facilities must stick with in order to be able to function well. This is Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7. You're still listening to us. We are bringing you updates on that baby theft story and how the police have launched investigations to identify possible accomplices in the mamprobi polyclinic baby theft case following the arrest of the main suspect. The 4-day-old baby went missing shortly after delivery, prompting an immediate response after hospital authorities and the child's family filed a report with the police. A coordinated search operation was subsequently launched, leading to the safe recovery of the infant. Since the story broke, there's been a lot of talk about security breaches and security protocols in these health facilities, especially when it comes to maternity and postnatal wards. Let's bring in Richard Kumado. He's a fraud and security consultant. Mr. Kumado, from a security perspective, what immediate measures should hospitals implement to prevent incidents like the mamprobi polyclinic baby theft case?
Last year, between March and May, we did a hospital security survey in Greater Accra and 3 other regions in Ghana. I must say that almost all the hospitals in Greater Accra need a security improvement or security infrastructure at their hospital. The security desks in most of the hospitals in Greater Accra is not encouraging. It's either they are weak or they are non-functional. Particularly issues of baby teeth and some other people having access to sensitive areas of the hospital, they will need to do what is right and what is appropriate in terms of security infrastructure and putting in the right investment in making sure that they achieve security compliance in the health sector.
And Mr. Kumado, how do, from your perspective as an expert, I mean, we know that these baby thief cabal or group use a lot of social engineering. They build trust and then later prey on the trust that they've built with you. How do these perpetrators typically gain access to newborns in health facilities, and what vulnerabilities do hospitals need to address most urgently?
Number one, data, hospital data. Most of the hospital administrators do not have vigilance schemes, and they do not have monitoring systems to know who is on duty, who is not on duty, what is wrong at whatever department, at whatever time. They don't know it at all. It takes a long time for some of those reports to get to their desks. It's that they are doing more than one job and they are running between one hospital to the other, and the people they assign in those core responsibilities are also a bit more busy or neglectable or negligence in the job they have assigned to do. In that regard, anybody at all can walk in and steal anybody's baby and get away. If you go to the private hospital, which are all parts of the hospital that need security improvement, whether the private hospitals or the government hospitals, you will see how largely it is for people to walk in, whether they are visitors or they accompany sick people to some of these hospitals, how they can walk in and get into some areas where they are not supposed to. I am aware that when you give birth and you have some challenges, the places where they keep newborn babies and their mothers is a little bit isolated from the usual world. Who goes there? Who doesn't go there? Become a major security issue that hospital administrators and supervisors on duty in particular will have to keep an eye. They don't do it. And it makes life easier for anybody to walk in and out without they even taking notice.
And beyond internal hospital security, how do we bring in law enforcement and regulatory bodies to play and protect maternity and postnatal wards from such criminal activity?
Even if you look at some of the places who cite our hospitals, it's problematic. If you look at how the hospitals are managed, it's problematic. Should law enforcement get involved, it has to be from the Minister of Health and the Health Directorate or Health Services in this country. Some of their facilities have problems in terms of sites where they are sited and the infrastructure itself is problem. If you go to REACH, you will see recently REACH was in the news. There's a whole lot of problems. When you go to some of our hospitals, they are not different from markets. like what goes on in the normal Malacca market. We need to watch it because this is health we are talking about, and it creates a lot of problems when we get it wrong. So, yeah, law enforcement can only come in because they are not health professionals. They will come in to provide security cover when they are asked to and when support is needed. But then it has to come from the Ministry of Health and the health services of this country.
Mr. Kumado, thank you for bringing us your thoughts on this conversation. Richard Kumado is a fraud and security consultant. This is Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7. You can share your experience with us on these issues and what you think we should be doing as a nation going forward to protect mothers and also their babies. It's not easy going through the whole 9-month period of pregnancy, go through a cesarean section or SVD, and then you have somebody coming to take your baby away from you. Let us know what you think about this story. But moving away, there have been mixed reactions about the decision of the Chief Justice determining that petitions seeking the removal of the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Jane Mensah, her 2 deputies and the Special Prosecutor, Kissie Agyemang, do not establish a prima facie case to warrant further action. President Mahama received 7 petitions from individuals and groups targeting Electoral Commission Chairperson Jane Mensah and her deputies, Dr. Bosman Erikasari, Deputy Chairperson in charge of Corporate Services, and Samuel Tete, Deputy Chair in charge of Operations. 3 separate petitions seeking the removal of Special Prosecutor Kissie Agyemang were also received by the President. President Mahama referred the 10 petitions to the Chief Justice on November 2025 for a preliminary determination on whether they disclosed a prima facie case for further proceedings. Speaking to 3FM legal practitioner Christian Mam, Hesse says the decision by the CJ is a major boost to the practice of rule of law in the country.
So basically, when we say prima facie, in simple terms, and by decided authorities, it means that on the glance of the face, and the last is a Latin word, on the glance of the face of a petition or application or the process before a quasi-judicial body or a judicial body, that particular process should speak for itself so that it will not require fervent interrogation to try and know what that seeks to exact. Basically what I'm saying is that on the face of it, gleaning or glancing through it, whoever is the officer doing that particular work should be able to establish and say that, oh, this application or this petition, this is what it seeks to say. It has grounded itself for the third removal. If on the face of it, it cannot be said, it cannot be concluded, there cannot be a culpable conclusion to say that indeed what the petition is seeking to convey is established on the face of it, then we say that it has missed that particular legal threshold.
Right.
And by that, the prima facie has not been established. I mean, it doesn't close it. If they believe that there is some other act or actions or omissions that the third persons might have done, they are at liberty in law to petition. So, but as far as this particular one is concerned, the matter is exhausted.
Private legal practitioner Christian Mam Hesse there. Let's bring in private legal practitioner Martin Pebu. Counsel, thank you for your time tonight. What is your assessment of the CJ's determination that no prima facie case exists against the EC chair, deputies, and the special prosecutor?
Well, so we can only presume from the dismissal that they didn't meet the various thresholds. So for the EC chair and deputies, that's Article 146. And for the special prosecutor, that is Section 15 of Act 959. That's the Office of Special Prosecutor Act. Yes. So it means that we can only presume that they didn't meet the threshold. If they did. But unfortunately, we are not in a good position to see whether they really did or they didn't, because we have not seen the those petitions.
The petitions. So, Council, I was going to ask you that what do these petitions have to contain in order to meet the threshold, if it is okay to ask?
Okay, yes. So you're talking about, so let's take the EC chair. There are different kettles of fish. So let's say the EC one, you have to show under Article 146 incompetence, misconduct, and then, so any, it doesn't have to be all. Then you're also talking about ill health, okay, infirmity of mind and body. So if you say incompetence, then you have to show exactly what the incompetence is. So that if, let's say, maybe, I'm just saying maybe, we don't know what's in there. If you're saying, certain things were done, but they were not done according to the procedure that have to be done. I'm just giving an example, assuming maybe to open a register, these are the prerequisites, but these prerequisites were not met, and you have cogent evidence to show that, then it means once they didn't follow the procedure, then they didn't do the work well. If you say misconduct, then what is that bad thing that has been done? So that one to show. A lot of misconduct will also amount to, apart from breaching rules, it can also be bad things like maybe being corrupt, etc. So there are different matters. And then if you say the person is not well, infirmity of mind and body, that means you have to show with medical certificate. So the name of the game is evidence. Evidence. Yeah.
Council,
so that's it for the what do you call it?
The threshold and whether
and deputy.
Yeah.
And it's the same for the special prosecutor as well, except that his is on the face of it wider. If you go to section 15 of the OSP Act, they'll tell you that apart from this incompetence, the infirmity, there are also things like if you bring the name of the institution into disrepute, yes, you say it. Apart from the stated misbehavior and competence, there's also bringing the name of the institution into disrepute. Then there's also breach of the official oath, that's the oath that the special prosecutor takes, and then the oath of secrecy. Maybe the special prosecutor would have leaked some secrets. All of that, you have to give evidence. So that's why we say the name of the game is evidence as much as possible. Yes.
Council, so the dismissal of these petitions, what impact does it have on public confidence of these two institutions, the EC as well as the OSP?
Sorry, I lost you a bit.
Yes, Council, I was asking that the dismissal of these petitions, does it have any impact, or what impact can it have on the public confidence in the EC, its independence, as well as the Office of the Special Prosecutor?
It's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag because, justice emanates from the people. That's Article 125 of our Constitution. So where you have the majority of the citizens thinking that, no, this particular officer is not fit for purpose, and then an application, or let's say a petition is dismissed, usually it doesn't sit well with the people. So it leads to a situation where we've been saying that then after a petition is dismissed, etc., perhaps the content should be published so that the citizens will see, then they can assess. You see, like, remember the Tokonu one? You see that there was a leakage. We saw what was in it. It was better for our democracy. You see it? So generally, you cannot say that dismissal is totally good, showing that there will be greater confidence. Neither can you say it shows lack of confidence. It's a mixed bag because the aggrieved persons would never accept. Assuming, for example, my petition, which is still pending, it is not part of these three. If my petition were dismissed, I'll be happy. No, I'll begin to think, ill motives. You see, so for people who are petitioned, so for everything like this, there are winners and losers. Those who support the petition, when it is dismissed, they will be aggrieved that they've not had justice. And then those who are against the petition will be celebrating that this is justice. So, well, that's society. But one thing I can say for sure is that when generally the citizens are aggrieved and then they don't get the justice, it doesn't go away. It simmers in people's minds. It will come back to haunt us. So this is not over. When you say petitions have been dismissed, don't think it's over. It stays in people's minds, in the backgrounds and in the private of our homes and offices, etc. You receive grumblings, and then other things will come and mix up. Then it becomes a very toxic cocktail. So one day something happens, and then boom, you see the anger would come up, and then what do you call it? Would affect everything that we're doing.
Yeah.
So these things don't go away. No. Look, let's take them. Let's be very specific. You think the Mensa debates, no, she's not qualified. You think by saying that the petitions are dismissed, then suddenly we will accept that the Mensa is qualified? Or the same way, look at the special prosecutor's case. All the arguments we made, as I said, my petition is not part. When we get to that bridge, we'll cross it.
Cross it.
For those who did theirs, they think they would accept. No, they won't. So there will be entrenched positions. So the next time something happens, then that transferred aggression will be used to kick the people, the duty bearers. So these things don't go away.
Okay,
no, they don't.
Okay. Counsel, thank you so much for talking to us. Private legal practitioner Martin Pebu telling us his views and how these issues of petitions and dismissals work. This is Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7. Let's go to the quarters of the NPP because a new patriotic party is setting the stage for a full-scale grassroots reorganization after its presidential primary. The party's National Executive Committee, NEC, the party's third highest decision-making body, adopted key recommendations from the steering committee and referred them to the National Council for final approval. Liberal Cosbianan reports that the move clears the path for internal elections to begin from the polling station level upward.
The New Patriotic Party has signaled a return to its traditional internal electoral architecture, announcing that following the presidential primaries, the party will proceed with grassroots elections beginning at the polling station level and moving upward through constituency and regional contests to the national executive level. Well, this effectively is blending two strategies, an early flag-bearer first approach followed by a restoration of the bottom-up reorganization model. General Secretary of the party, Justin Frimpong-Kodia, speaking to the press, he announced the timelines for the elections at the various levels.
The objective being to secure victory in the 2028 general elections. The elections of our polling station executives will be from 10th to 16th May 2026. Elections of our electoral area executives will be from 10th to 15th June 2026. Elections of constituency officers shall be from 11th to 12th July 2026. The elections of regional executive officers shall be from 8th to 9th August 2026. National executive elections shall be held between 18th to 20th of September 2026.
He noted the party has taken the decision to extend the tenures of officers at various levels since some are bound to expire before the elections.
Because of these timelines, National Council took notice of the fact that the tenure of office of some officers would expire in the course of these elections or before these elections. And therefore, by the power vested in National Council, it is established as follows. The polling station executive tenure has been extended. Electoral area coordinators has been extended from 20th March to 15th June 2026. Constituency executive tenure has also been extended. Regional executives from 22nd May to 9th August 2026. The national executives from 16th July to 20th September.
Well, Justin Frimpong-Kodia added the elections will rely heavily on the party's constitution while being guided by the Professor Michael Quay Committee report.
These rules and regulations governing the conduct of the party's internal elections are made pursuant to Article 18 and other relevant provisions of the Constitution of the New Patriotic Party, guided by the findings and recommendations of Okwe Elections Review Committee on the party's 2024 electoral performance. The party recognizes the necessity to rebuild. All aspirants shall campaign on issues and refrain from leveling unsubstantiated allegations, personal attacks, and vilifications against their opponents. No aspirants shall undertake any activity that will polarize the party along tribal, religious, and other factional lines. Aspirants shall also require their supporters not to engage in any of the activities stated above.
General Secretary of the NPP, Justin Frimpong Kodia, ending Noble Crosby Annan's report. This is the hot edition on 3FM 92.7. Let's move on and do some other stories now. And the High Court has adjourned proceedings in the criminal case involving NPP Ashanti Regional Chairman Bernard Nchibuesi, also known as Chairman Wuntumi Akonta Mining, and another accused person after the defense filed a submission of no case. Lawyer for the accused, Andy Apiekubi, told the court that following the close of the prosecution's case, the defense has filed written argument asking the court to dismiss the charges for lack of evidence. The prosecution, however, said the document was served only moments before proceedings and requested time to study it and respond. Justice Audrey Kosivite noted that the court is yet to receive the official filing and adjourn the matter to March 10, 2026 for hearing on whether the accused persons have a case to answer. Lawyer for the accused, Andy Apiekubi, spoke to the media after the hearing.
For now, the submission of no case is a public document, which we have filed. We are in the position to share with you. So you can even share soft copies of your submission so that all of you can also go through it. Let's all follow it because this is a public interest case. Let's all follow it so that we understand the ruling as it comes. If the ruling comes that we are happy, fine. If we are unhappy, that would not be the end of the matter. So challenge it if it comes. We are very hopeful that what the case we give it to the court will assist the court in coming to a judicious ruling.
Andy Apiekubi is lawyer for the accused, talking to us about proceedings in court today involving NPP Ashanti Regional Chairman Bernard Nchibuesi, also known as Chairman Wuntumi Akonta Mining, and another accused person. This is Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7. We have business sports coming up shortly. Stay with us. So listening to Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7. Let's still stay on that NPP tangent. And the new Patriotic Party is setting the stage for a full-scale grassroots reorganization after 8 presidential primary. The party's NEC, the party's third highest decision-making body, adopted key recommendations from the steering committee and referred them to the National Council for final approval. Let's quickly go on the phone now and talk to Haruna Mohammed. He is Deputy General Secretary of the NPP. Mr. Haruna, thank you for your time. One of the criticisms the party faced from earlier was the decision to use a top-down approach when it came to flag bearer elections. But we see you have now reverted to the bottom-up process for your internal organization. What informed this decision?
Good evening to your cherished listeners and followers over the social media. We have not in any day and any form used a top-down approach.
Right.
It is something that is being set out there. But in our party, there is nothing like bottom-up and top-down. And the party has never adopted a top-down approach. The party thought through the defeat of the 2024 general election. We set up an inquiry system headed by the Professor Michael Quay. The report of that particular committee asked that a certain actions be taken and that a recommendation was made for us to elect a flag bearer early. And the constitution of our party gave the National Council the opportunity indicating the time of election, which is when you are in opposition. So we had the time to, per the constitution, to organize our presidential primaries at any point in time, even a day after the 2024 general elections. We could have, because if you are in opposition, there is a timeline.
Right.
So we only complied with the provisions of the party's constitution on indication and recommendation that we are starting with presidential, which is a stand-alone election from the party structure elections.
Yeah. Can you walk us through the key steps and timelines for the national executive elections and why these dates were chosen, if there are any special reasons behind them?
For the national executive elections, we have decided, based on the recommendation of Professor Michael Quay's report, that the base of the party is something that we have to work on. And specifically, we need to work on our polling station organization. So we decided that because we had earlier on issued a directive on the 19th of November 2025, indicating to our polling stations to go and organize polling station meetings, we have, as a national council, decided that the polling stations meetings be further extended to start from the 1st to the 31st of March, where the polling stations will meet and then they will record their names in the register. Per the constitution of our party, membership of every party member emanates from the polling station. So you need to identify yourself at the polling station. Then these lists will be populated into an updated register for the polling station. Then we open nominations for the polling stations where we would be conducting elections. And nomination for the polling station is slated for the term to the 16th of May. And by extension, we also ask for the extension of time for these particular polling stations because polling stations, people, their time will expire on the 5th of March. So council have given mandate of extension up to the 16th of May. Again, after the polling station elections are done, we will be conducting what we call the electoral area elections. And the electoral area elections will be conducted between 10th to the 15th of June 2026. Then after the electoral area elections, we will be conducting that of the constituency from the 11th to the 12th of July. And that of the region will be from 8th to the 9th of August. And the external branches which constitute the branch and the chapters will have their elections done from the 20th of June to the 19th of July. And national will be done on the 18th to 20th. So meaning that by September 2026, we will be done with our elections, internal elections per the party structure as indicated in the NPP party's constitution as amended.
Right. Ms. Haruna, thank you for making time to talk to us. Haruna Mohammed is Deputy General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party. This is Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7. Let us now bring you the latest in the world of business. And government has paid 10 billion cedis in interest under the domestic debt exchange program, marking a significant step in Ghana's fiscal consolidation efforts and signaling renewed confidence in the country's debt management strategy. The payment, announced in a press statement on February 18 this year, represents the sixth coupon settlement under the DDEP and the second to be made entirely in cash without any payment in kind component. There's more in this 3 Business Desk report.
Government's full cash settlement covers all CD-denominated coupon obligations under the domestic debt exchange program in line with the restructuring memorandum and the broader debt management framework. Government has reaffirmed its commitment to meeting all future obligations under the program, citing the strong financial buffers and improving macroeconomic indicators. Falling inflation, declining interest rate, and a stable CD are among the key factors underpinning that confidence. The full cash payment is being viewed as further evidence of growing fiscal discipline and the effectiveness of Ghana's debt restructuring efforts. Officials believe honoring obligations without alternative arrangements will boost market sentiment, attract new investment, and lay a stronger foundation for sustainable economic growth. Financial analysts say the development also enhances stability across the financial sector, particularly for banks and pension funds with significant exposure to domestic debt instruments.
That was a 3-desk report. Meanwhile, financial and tax analyst Nelson Kujo-Kwagbeji is projecting a positive shift in Ghana's international credit standing following government's successful 10 billion cedis interest payment under the DDEP.
I think this is a clear demonstration and commitment from the government that future obligations will be met. And once these DDEP coupons have been paid, it will go a long way to reinforce the credit worthiness of government. It will also help enhance Ghana's credit rating outlook. And so we expect the next credit rating by the various rating agencies to be enhanced. It will also bring back some level of confidence and also help deepen the liquidity in the Ghanaian market. I mean, the market is currently illiquid. And so once people are having confidence that their investment to be paid back, we expect a lot more activity within the market. Now, going forward, I think that we should be prudent with our borrowing. We should borrow for projects that can generate positive NPVs. We shouldn't borrow for consumption as we have witnessed in the past. We should also continue with the fiscal discipline and also try as much as possible to raise enough domestic tax revenue to support the annual budget.
Nelson Kwagbeji is a financial and tax analyst, and that will be all by way of business, as well as the entire package of Hot Edition, which came to you live from our studios here at Adesawe Kanda, Accra. My name is Grace Hammoah Agyemang. Log on to 3news.com and get some more stories. Good evening and enjoy the rest of our programs.